guys, welcome back to the farm. Today's all about water and why keeping water on the farm and keeping water in your body is pretty much the same thing. Because think about it, as an infant, we're about 80% water. As we grow older, we start to lose water, become more dehydrated. And the name of the game is to keep as much water as you can, and especially water that is on the inside of your cells. Because when you lose water to the outside of the cells, that's edema. That's aging. Think about it, grapes versus raisins. Is a grape younger or older than a raisin? Older. It sits around. If you let it sit, it will eventually lose its water. So let's keep the water. Same thing with the field, with the farm, with the groundwater. We want it to maintain, we want to keep the water in the soil. That's where all the magic happens. You have to keep the water in the soil. If water doesn't go into the soil, permeate the soil through roots, through aeration, through healthy organic matter, then it just runs off, right? Right here, we just got like a boatload of rain yesterday, and I don't know if you can see it or not. Let's zoom in a little bit. There's the field up above. This is a little drainage ditch. It's all running off. Running off down into streams, then into rivers, then eventually into the ocean, and this one in particular will go into the Gulf of Mexico. What happens in the Gulf of Mexico? If water pulls all the synthetic nutrients like the nitrogen and basically mainly all of the synthetic nitrogen gets into the runoff, into the ground, or into the runoff water, into the streams, into the rivers, into the oceans. All that excessive nitrogen causes algae to bloom, and that's why we have that dead zone in the Gulf of Mexico. But let's keep it on the inside and not let it go to the outside. I'm going to give you a few more tips on how to keep water on the inside of your cells and not let it drift to the outside of your cells. It's all about energy. Okay, got a cup of squat here by the runoff and talk more about water. Before I do, you can notice my crazy color combination up here. I'm just trying to keep myself from getting shot. It's the last day of gun season for deer here in Indiana. So that's why. And the other thing is, I keep saying the farm. What are we going to call this farm anyway? Rebecca and I have toyed around with R&R for release and rewire. A place to come and release patterns that are no longer serving you and rewire yourself with nature, natural patterns that will serve you, that will immerse your cells in a healing environment. But then that third R, the regeneration's got to be a piece of it somewhere. So maybe triple R. Tell me what you think. What do you think? I'm working on it. Okay, back to how to keep water inside your cells versus outside your cells. Okay. First thing is we have to build a good structure of the cell membrane, because every one of your 75 to 100 trillion, depending on all of these cells that we have, right, has a cell membrane around it. Right? What is that cell membrane made of? A healthy structure. We have to keep the water on the inside. Build a healthy membrane. What's it made of? Cholesterol. So don't drive your cholesterol down to zero, right? Below 160, there's more, it's like 160, and between 160 and 200, or low 200s is the sweet spot. Below 160, you start suffering more cancer, more strokes, things like that. Healthy cholesterol levels. So don't drive it down to 98 with statins, okay? Essential fatty acids, EPA, DHA, mostly DHA for structure. All right, that comes from green food. We can make EPA and DHA in our bodies if we eat lots and lots of green food. Green is what turns it, green. Well, there's some in some seeds, like flaxseed has a pretty hefty amount of omega-3s. Walnuts are got like 40% omega-3s, but they still got a lot of omega-6s. So the omega-3s, lots of omega-3s. We also get those from animals or fish that have eaten green, right? Concentrated green in an animal product will give you those essential fatty acids as well. You can also supplement with omega-3 fatty acid supplements, but that's the base, is your essential fatty acids, okay? And we'll do the next one down the trail. Okay, it's going to be a little loud for the next one. I'm standing here at the confluence in the southeast corner of our property. My favorite spot. My favorite spot. So, the other thing, after you've built the structure, then you got to take care of the structure. You can't let it oxidize. You can't let it glycate, right? Oxidation is caused from inflammation, and glycation is the product of too much sugar in your blood. You may have heard of hemoglobin A1C as a marker for too much sugar over a 3-month period of time. It's a diabetes marker, and that's a glycated hemoglobin molecule, right? A glycated red blood cell core. But that's a protein. That's a crusty protein. Think of too much sugar causing a crust. Like sugar that oxidizes, like on a bread, creates a crust, right? That is the process of glycation. It happens in your cells as well, because every cell membrane has all these little antennas made of proteins. They're your receptors to interpret your environment, to help your cells communicate with each other, to help insulin do its job, to help testosterone do its job. Every molecule has a receptor that's made of protein. If that protein gets glummed up and gummed up and gummed up with too much sugar, it's going to create a crusty protein, and that renders that protein really not able to hear too well. So communication breaks down. Hormone regulation gets disrupted. Communication breaks down within the cellular community, and the disease, degeneration, is the result. So, key number 1, watch your sugar. Sugar, grain, refined stuff. We all know it. We all know it. Get together, get a group of people together, and talk about it. How are you going to break the habit? How are you going to, use social pressure. We're social beings. If you're isolated, you're going to eat more sugar. Guarantee it, right? Use community to encourage you to do better. That's how you do it. Everybody knows what to do. Find a community of people. Start with one person. Get a buddy. Say, hey, let's do this together. Hey, would you like guys to get together at my house and have some avocado and salad, and let's figure out how we can make a meal together without using grain, without using sugar, and see how it goes. All right. So that's a practical tip. Everybody knows it, right? Just got to do it. And remember, this all comes back to creating a healthy cell membrane so we can keep the water on the inside, so we can stay young like a grape rather than old like a raisin. Next one. Inflammation, oxidation. How do you quench? It's going to happen. Every time you make energy in your body, you make oxidation. It's like you use oxygen, you blow up oxygen, causes a respiratory burst, and you have smoke. When you have a fire, you have smoke. You got to get the smoke out of the chimney. You do that with color. Color. Bioflavonoids. That's what strengthens the cell membrane and keeps it strong, so it doesn't just break open anytime you have you bend over, and you become fragile if you don't have these bioflavonoids keeping the structure together and keeping the oxidation down and keeping the cell membrane healthy, so you can keep your water, so you can stay younger like a grape and not old like a raisin. So color. Get together with your friends. How many colors can we create tonight? How many colors can we have on our plate tonight? How many colors? How deep color? How deep and dark is the color? And where did the color come from? Did it come from a farm that had good soil? Or did it come from a depleted California Valley that pipes water down from Mount Shasta in Northern California because they've depleted the water in the aquifer in that area. Think eco-friendly with these foods as well, and your body will feel that. It'll resonate with that. It's all energy. Okay, so glycation, oxidation, you've got your marching orders on that. Keep the cell membrane strong, good structure, no glycation, reduce the oxidation, get the smoke out of the chimney. Healthy cell membranes equals healthy cells, equals better communication, equals the natural flow of nature is to regenerate. Do it. Okay, finishing up with the water thing at the waterfall. This is coming out of spring number 1, near the top of the hill, and love it. Anyway, last thing, well, there's a lot of little minutia that we didn't talk about as far as what keeps the cell membrane healthy, but we're trying to get the low-hanging fruit. If we can just get everybody to eat less sugar, eat more color, and get some building blocks of good cholesterol and good essential fatty acids into your membranes, we're going to cover a lot of ground. But one more that's really important for keeping a healthy cell membrane and keeping water inside your cells. And this one probably isn't as much about the membrane as it is to what's on the other side of the membrane. There's a adage in the environment, basically. The solution to pollution is dilution. So, how much pollution do you have running through your bloodstream? How many toxins are flowing through your bloodstream? Bacteria, viruses, fungi, chemicals from the environment. When you have a lot of toxins on the outside of the cell, okay, your wisdom of your cell will say, wow, we need to dilute some of that stuff. So it sends water to dilute the toxin. This is why toxicity causes swelling and edema in a lot of people. Reduce the toxic burden, and the swelling goes down. So that's avoiding as many toxins as you possibly can, okay? Just live clean with your cosmetics, with your lotions, with all that stuff. You should be able to eat your cosmetics, okay? Use natural stuff. There's lots of new companies popping up out there. Just Google natural cosmetics and do your research. Look through the Environmental Working Group, ewg.org. Just get that stuff out of your life, okay? And then you have to get your gut moving. You have to start pooping. Get stuff out of you. If you're constipated, toxins are recirculating. Twice a day, guys. Twice a day. That's more fiber, that's more water. Okay? Sometimes it's more complicated than that, but those are the basics. Give your liver some support. It needs lots of B vitamins, lots of magnesium. It needs good protein. I've used a product called Ultra Clear Plus from Metagenics for 20 plus years. Works great. There's lots of liver detox products out there. I prefer the medical foods, which are easy. Just take 2 scoops a couple of times a day. Push the pathways. Open those pathways up. Lots of sulfur. Sulfation is a pathway that gets rid of toxins in your body. Lots of cruciferous vegetables. Pushes the glutathione pathway. And lots of other things too. Helps package up the toxins and get them out of your body. There's 2 phases of detox. The blowing up, the oxidation of the toxin, and then the packaging or reduction of the toxin to get it out of your body. Okay? You need both. Milk thistle, great. Alpha lipoic acid, great for your liver. Lots of different things. But do something. cleanse the liver, cleanse the colon, get things moving, get the toxins out of your body, and keep the water inside your cells, not outside your cells. Stay young. So I'm going to sign off now. Release patterns that no longer serve you. Rewire new patterns that do serve you. And that's going to equal regeneration instead of degeneration. Lots more coming to you from the farm. And again, in the comments, wherever you're watching this, put, what do you think? Release and rewire? R&R farm? Triple R farm? Meaning release, rewire, regenerate? Something with Core Wellness Institute? I don't know. Just keep regenerating. Bye-bye.